Booga booga.
The trailer for the final season of The Bad Batch just dropped, and I was reminded of something. I really do hate Dave Filoni. I don't hate Dave Filoni as a person, I hate him as a storyteller and a creative. Let me explain. Part of being a good storyteller has in large part to do with knowing the difference between a bad idea and a good idea. Dave Filoni doesn't seem to understand this. And a lot of times, neither does George Lucas. We'll get to him in a minute. Before the Clone Wars animated show was released, the Star Wars franchise was mostly being held together by games, action figures, and comic books. This isn't to discount Tartakovsky's miniseries. In 2 short seasons, that man said and did more with the Clone Wars than Filoni and his clowns could dream of. And of course, there were loads of novels Star Wars fans could read to help fill out the missing spaces in the canon. It's in this world that along came a talented writer named Karen Traviss. She's known for her military science fiction novels with intricate character arcs. Traviss would go on to write several Star Wars books, most notably her Republic Commando series. This series introduced readers to the psychology of clones as they begin the war as somewhat starry-eyed children who venerate the Jedi, to being world-weary soldiers who know they're slaves and have seen the Jedi massively screw up on battles, causing their clone brothers to die. Slightly more interesting, however, we were formally introduced to the Cuy'val Dar. These were the sergeants enlisted by Jango Fett himself to help train the Special Forces units of the Grand Army. Most of them were Mandalorian mercenaries and bounty hunters. This allowed Traviss to fully flesh out the Mandalorian culture, showing us a world of loving, brutal, nomadic warriors who gave a damn about the clones. Some Cuy'val Dar would even go on to adopt their clones as sons and find ways to smuggle them out of the Grand Army so they could be free men. Then Lucas wanted to give fans a visual depiction of the Clone Wars. It's in this framework that Dave Filoni came about. Those of you who have seen the Clone Wars show will note that the Mandalorian culture in that series is vastly different from what I've described and what Karen Traviss wrote. A pacifistic culture that had given up its warrior roots. I don't believe for one moment that a civilization like the Mandalorian would ever become pacifists. It's mind-numbingly moronic. And whereas the Death Watch of Dave Filoni would eventually become the good guys between the Clone Wars series and the Mandalorian series, they were originally depicted as murderers, rapists, torturers, and slavers in the original canon. These were the very people who killed Jango Fett's parents when he was a child and tortured and enslaved his sister. Now, they're an elitist society complete with a ruling class that for some reason we're being made to like, but I digress. Due to the massive overhaul by Filoni and company, Karen Traviss' story had been retconned before Disney ever got their grubby hands on the Star Wars IP. Retcons with the Star Wars universe aren't uncommon though. It's happened before and sometimes for the better. After all, Boba Fett and Jaster Mereel used to be the same person, with Fett being a ridiculously self-righteous former cop whose work for Jabba the Hutt contradicted his character. The change to the Mandalorian culture, however, obliterated an entire civilization that had years to foster loyalty from fans, with weaving storylines that fed into the main story in a fun and interesting way. But the stupidity doesn't end there. The last season of the Clone Wars introduced us to Clone Force 99, an elite group of genetically engineered clones. According to Filoni, Lucas thought it would be cool to have a unique set of clones that had been enhanced in different ways. Unfortunately for these two nitwits, this already existed in the canon they decided to throw in the toilet. Central to the Republic Commando series were the Null Arc Troopers, an elite group of genetically modified clones. Noticing any similarities here? But instead of the characters Karen Traviss wrote about, we get these caricatures that we're apparently supposed to care about. Why? Because the higher-ups at LucasArts didn't and don't know a good idea from a bad idea. So when you watch The Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, or The Clone Wars, just remember that something better came before it. Oddly enough, Filoni and Lucas Disney'd Star Wars before Disney. Thanks for watching. If you want to see Filoni's biggest flaw laid out in spectacular glory, click on the video popping up on your screen right now. Like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Booga booga.